Hey guys, I'm back with our market day part 2, so let's get started. Alright, so happy July 4th. Let's celebrate July 4th with some celebration. So I got a comment asking about this, and celebrations is a good set to track because it's 25th or the 30th anniversary is coming up, so a lot of people have speculated that it's going to rise. And I'm just going to go over the listings I had for celebrations, go through each of them. So ETBs have gone up quite a bit. I think quite a few products started trending around about a week ago, at the end of June, around June 27th. So before that, the price was around, I guess, a little less than 160, and now the graph says 187, but the price at the top says 205. So it's increased quite a bit. Um, and you do see more recent demand ever since then. Like you see 25 sold on the 28th. Even none of them sold yesterday, but 2 days ago sold 8. So yeah, I think that the safest thing if you're going to get celebrations is just to get the kind of the best items, so like an ETB, Pokemon Center ETB, and I think there's Ultra Premium Collection too. But some of the other collection boxes, they're probably not going to be desired, but I'll go over each of those. So that's the ETB. This is Ultra Premium Collection. I think this was like the first Ultra Premium Collection. I think that might be wrong, but I remember there's a lot of hype on this back in the day, and yeah, there's been a lot more demand lately. It's been selling like about 3 or 4 a day for less. Last 5 days actually, and the price you see over here says 380, goes to 510. The price actually is lower on over here, so I think that the sales are just kind of sporadic. So there's some cheaper ones over here around 460, and it goes to 550. So the pricing is a little hard to get. So yeah, getting the right price points can be a little hard, but that's definitely getting more demand. This is the Pokemon Center ETB. So they made it look a little different. This is also pretty high back in the day. And yeah, around the 27th, you see the price starts to spike. So I think it's actually the 28th, 10 were bought, and then 29th, 16 were bought, and then the price used to be it's 215. It says 245 over here. I see 225, so just kind of in between. But actually, this it's just kind of this one seller selling a cheap one over here, and it goes to about $300. So yeah, that's it for Pokemon Center to be. Loose packs, they're kind of up and down, but you do see some activity, like a lot of activity at the end of June. I wonder if it was like the same person, but you do see you see like 50, 60 packs sold on the 27th, and then 40 sold on the 28th, and then we jump to like the 30th, which 143 packs, and then 78 packs sold on July 1st. So even today on July 4th, we see 25th packs. But yeah, generally, I guess the packs price is around $12 to $13 ish, maybe $13.50 at most. There are these collection shots. They sold quite a few of them about 2 days ago. So on July 2nd, 26 were sold. And I'm just gonna look at the pricing now. The pricing says like about $80 or 85 per. The price a few days ago was about 60, 66. Generally, it's been rising over the last couple of months, but it's a little more stagnant recently. I know you go to some of the collection boxes. So I'll just go through these quickly. This had only, this isn't a lot of sales. It's like 2. This one, this Dark Sylveon, it's been selling like 1 when it does sell. There's this for here, this Celebrates Premium Figure Collection, selling not really as well. Only sells 2 per day at most. This Charizard one selling a little more. I see some spikes of 3 a day, but not a lot of sales. This other Charizard one has, most like 2. So you definitely see less activity with the collection boxes. Also, collection boxes are bulkier, so people don't want them long term. The Zacian one, not much activity. This Dragapult one, I do see 3 sold a few days ago, so a little more activity recently. This one is the most different one. There's a Celebrations Prime collection. When I did my last Celebrations video, I remember saying this. I didn't even know what this was, but yeah, 17 were sold. Like yesterday. So buy all these. Before that, supposedly it was like $97, and now I see it's like $140. So it's a kind of big jump. I'm gonna just look at the pricing data on that. That is a big outlier. Actually, there's not even enough sales data. But yeah, before around March, it's selling for about 100. Sometimes it goes like 120. And then yeah, pretty recently it's been like 130 to 140. There's mini tin displays, not as much activity. These international Dark Sylveon tins, nothing really that crazy. Lance tin, there's been more of these Charizard tins sold yesterday as well, so people bought 10 of these, and they're now, but there's I don't know, the price differential is really different. Like this is um, about $60 versus about 75. So that's quite a decent discount. Up here it says 47. So I think someone was trying to raise the price a little bit, and they bought the middle prices around 40. This one kind of so-so. This one kind of so-so. All right, so that's it for celebrations, and now we're going back to the regular stuff. But yeah, based on that, like as you can see, like it's more the regular items. So the ETB, the Ultra Premium Collection, the Pokemon Center ETB, maybe loose packs, um, maybe collection chests, kind of iffy, and then the other two big activity ones were kind of the Prime Collection and the Charizard, Lance Charizard 10. Those are the ones that had the most significant activity the last couple of days. All right, let's see if I can find Destin Rivals. I have so many tabs open today. I was just like, hopefully my computer can take it. All right, Destin Rivals. You see that cases are rising. So cases rose another $5. Bundles are up another dollar, and PCTV is down one. And what you're kind of seeing now is that cases are starting to increase in price. You see that they've gone to 280s, 256 a box, whereas the booster boxes aren't really increasing really much. I guess PCTV has also dropped about a dollar. But yeah, when I look over here, yeah, cases are definitely becoming more expensive. You see that there's only two sellers left, selling at about 1535 or 1540, and after that it jumps to about 1555, and even after that it jumps to like 1592. Not sure if anyone would actually pay those, but you still see sales. So someone did pay for this 1530 case yesterday, and then 2 days ago there was this 1550, 1515. So you're definitely seeing that rise. As that rises, it should like technically it could push up booster box demand. Like it just doesn't fully make sense for booster box to be cheaper than the cases. Destin Rivals is still a pretty new set, so the case premium is kind of iffy. But I don't know. Long term case, like the cases are gonna be worth so much more. But the loose boxes, I don't know, there's still a lot of people with the loose boxes. So I guess it's just like rare to get the case. So I guess there's a factor. But I see a lot of people with about 250, selling for about 250. Starting to see about 251 here. This is like 252. So if we can make it through these and people don't list more, then the price can rise. I have the feeling collector store sealed. They're doing what I said stores should do. Like they're not putting insane amounts, but they have a lot, so they keep relisting. I feel like that they're going to kind of like keep the price at this price point for a while. And demand is kind of it's still pretty decent. It sold 51 yesterday and the 68 the day before. Usually it's like 40, so demand's actually increasing for these boxes. It kind of makes sense because cases are getting more expensive. ETB demand's kind of normal, 32. PCTB, a little low at like 2. The previous day was 4. And then bundles are selling at like 33, so which is kind of normal as well. All right, joining together, people are paying like a good amount of money for joining together. I think I saw a booster box sold for $250. So joining together is over here, and yeah. So if you look at the buying data, like this booster box returned back to 231 versus the other booster box about 207, and 4 were bought for 6. Like you're getting like almost the same number of booster boxes sold for both of them. And then for the cases, there's actually more of the expensive cases for $1,300 sold than the less expensive cases for like about $1,210. Like that is $280 a booster box. So for whatever reason, people are buying up these more expensive like booster boxes. So this is a cheaper one. It sold PC 6 yesterday, 4 already today. There's like there's only 2 left around 207, and it goes back to 210. It commonly hovers around 210. But then this other one over here, you see like 4 sold, 3 already sold today, so there's already interest in that. And the price, like, there's a good amount of them at this 231 price at 9. Yeah, for some reason for joining together, there's just like the lowest price seller always tends to have like I don't know, like 5 to 10 boxes, like a good amount of boxes, so that well, otherwise the price looks better. Like this looks like Surging Sparks or better, honestly. And normally, like I would just say, hey, people aren't buying this, but people are paying these prices. Like you see, this is a $250 one I mentioned earlier. But commonly, people are paying 2. These are all like 230s, 1, 2, and 3. There's someone actually bought 2 of these. This is 220. This is 230. So people are paying a lot for joining together right now. ETBs sold 14, which is actually higher than normal. Normally it's like, I don't know, like 8. For PC ETBs, the demand has actually been really low last couple of days. This is the first time there's been 2 consecutive days with no sales. There was 1 day with no sales on June 22nd, so there's that big buyout, and then like people haven't been buying recently. But the price, I don't know, a lot of them do look kind of the same. And for booster bundles, 6 sold a little lower than normal. Normally it's closer to like 8 to 10. And then these are the cases. So, one of these cases sold. There's been 3 days of consecutive days of demand for the cheaper cases, and I've been saying like the cheaper cases starting right now. I'm starting. There's only 2 left. One left at 1207, and then this one is at 214, but they're still around the same price. And each up always 1240. So we might see the cases finally rise because this is the cheapest way to get booster boxes. And you're seeing the more expensive cases where I see 2 of them sold yesterday. So people are paying, you see, like $1,300 for these booster box cases, and there's only one left at this, and it goes to $1,350. So I don't really know what's going on, but yeah, people are paying a lot for joining together right now. There's like definitely some attention, and oh my god, it's gonna crash my computer. Moving this tab over. Okay, Paldean Fates. So Paldean Fates did a kind of move which I didn't think it would go to. I didn't go over Black Bull White Flare. So Black Bull White Flare, the main differences were that the ETB, White Flare ETB went down $5, and so did the bundle, and then the normal ETB went down about $1. I'll just go over the basic demand of these, but yeah, I think the main thing was I think the White Flare booster bundles are kind of increasing demand, but otherwise demand is kind of dropping. So only 9 Black Bull ETB sold yesterday, kind of low. For booster bundles, sold 14, kind of a normal amount. For binders, it dropped to 1, which is like kind of low. Like there's only like 2 other days sold that sold 1, and 2 days sold 0. Usually it's more than just 1. White Flare ETBs, they dropped in demand at 7. Some days it's more like 15 or higher. Bundles are still decent, so 13 sold. It's pretty comparable to like a normal high, and 8 already sold today. And then for binders, only 1 sold, which is White Flare has less demand, so I guess it's kind of normal for some lower ones, but 2 is kind of the more normal midpoint. Alright, so Paldean Fates, the main thing that I'm seeing is for booster bundle displays. It's been the main headliner for Paldean Fates recently. So I see that 1 was sold today, and what's basically happened is that with Paldean Fates, like for a lot of these like things, there's like really large sellers who just have a ton of these things, and like these aren't just, and these are pretty large items. Like booster bundle displays have 10 booster bundles, so they're pretty expensive and they're pretty large. Usually don't have like a ton of them. Even if you're a scalper or whatever, usually you go to the store, you don't get booster bundle displays. So Trading Card World had 77, Nina Harrison had 16. So they both increased their prices to around $800, and the previous price was I think like $750 or something. I could double check that. So Paldean Fates is over here. When I first started tracking it, it was around $700, and then it went to $750. So I think the $700 was like a sale, and then Trading Card was around $755, and then it drops even more. So I think that this is kind of a temporary thing. So yesterday, C&D TCG Card Shop, they put up cheaper ones at about $750. And I thought that that'd be bought up pretty quickly, because like someone could just look at this like, oh, the price is actually more $800. But then Brian Games over here put these 3 at like $700, which is pretty cheap for Paldean Fates booster model displays. If you look at the price per pack, it's about $1.10, like $1.15 more per pack. But honestly, if you want long-term stuff, like Paldean Fates booster model displays, it's gonna be worth way more than booster bundle. So as long as you make sure they're sealed and everything, like it's a much better buy long term. Like I wouldn't cheap out if you're investing long term for this. Especially with the Pikachu in the box, it just looks really, really nice. So yeah, these are some pretty good things. One of them was already bought, so I wouldn't be surprised that these are sold tomorrow, because that's just a pretty good price for it. It's even cheaper than loose packs right now. And actually, like Paldean Fates also went down. Like normally the price is closer to like 65 some days. So if you compare it to that price, it's actually like 90 something cents more for each pack, which really isn't that bad. But yeah, they went down $4 because of that, and then bundles went down about $1. So for booster bundles, yeah, Devastation, I think they decreased their price, but there's only, I think they had a lot more. They had like close to 200. Now there's only 47. I don't know if they decreased their listing or what, because like a good spike of Paldean Fates was bought. I see 40, but that's nowhere close to how much they had before. So I don't really know, but for some reason, I don't know, it's looking a lot better for Paldean Fates. Maybe it could finally rise up, because that was the main price ceiling for it, and after that, it could finally rise, because Paldean Fates booster models are pretty cheap right now. Pack demand is still low, but it's kind of rising. 7 soul packs are around 1220. ETB demand kind of still low, around 1 per day. And then Paldean ETBs, PC ETBs sold quite a few more at 6 yesterday. So it's actually, it does have these random little spikes. Alright, Crown Zenith cheap packs are starting to go away again. So if you look at just the price differences, the main difference is that ETBs went down $5 because there's a cheap one. But here's the context for Crown Zenith. So Crown Zenith has been selling more lately, and it was kind of going down. People were starting selling around like the 1050s. But yeah, 85 was sold yesterday, 92 days were sold before that, and already today they sold 19. Usually Crown Zenith sells like 30 per day nowadays, and it's usually pretty slow. There's also a lot of pack demand for 151 prismatic, 131 packs for 151, 96 for prismatic, and so with Crown Zenith, what I see is that there's like only one seller over, like there's mainly just these 23 packs around 1248, and then it goes back to like 1090. There's not even that many packs at that price point, so yeah, we're getting closer to about $11, and then probably $11.25 after that. So that's where we start seeing more packs after all this demand is happening. Sea and Sky is one box away from 170 finally. There's just this one seller here selling at 170 left. Everyone else selling for at least 173, so hopefully it finally moves up. Sea and Sky's been pretty stagnant for a while. ETBs, they went down $5 because Hyper Cards has these 5. Otherwise, it goes back to 180, and yeah, the previous high was at 183. The quantities aren't like super insane or anything, so it could go maybe slowly back up. And then bundles, bundle demand is still going. This one sold for 85. I don't know if they're shipping or anything, but yeah, I mean the bundle prices look great. If Mint Collect put like some fewer bundles, that'd be nice. But I get it, like, it's probably on safe shipping costs or whatever. But otherwise, like you do see, these are pretty high prices for bundles. Like you get close to $100 pretty quickly. Alright, so 151 is over here. And alright, what are my notes for 151? So let's see, bundles, I'm still eyeing the 76, 77. Bundle display, pack demands. Okay, so I would say the biggest thing for 151 is still Blooming Waters. The price actually didn't increase. It's still at 127. Demand kind of went back down a little bit at 7 of the 5 I bought today, but the price ladder looks great. I really think that the supply really has thinned out enough that we're finally going to start seeing higher prices. So we see like 127 over there. At the bottom over here, we see 131/132. So that's a good amount. And I don't see any insane quantities. Everyone has mostly just 2, at most 2, except for the last seller. So yeah, Blooming Waters, as expected, finally recovering. You see, hit the low, according to this graph at least, hit the low over here around June 9th. And it's been almost a month, and it's really recovered pretty decently. It had another low over here, but slowly but surely, Blooming Waters has recovered quite a bit. Bundles, demand is kind of like normalish, so about 28. I'm still eyeing the 76 mark, 77 mark. There's some 77s over here. 76s, actually these are all 77. It just kind of skips 76. And yeah, it's having some resistance, so staying around like 74, 75. But yeah, I'm still optimistic about it. Bundle displays, they're still selling pretty decently. You see 1 sold per day, 1 yesterday, 1 the previous day. Did the price go up? I don't remember. So 151 is over here. Wrong direction. And this way. Okay. So bundle displays, yeah, they did go up $5. Posters went up about $1, and then UPCs went up about $2. So for bundle displays, Trading card world, I guess that they raised their price by $5 or something, but yeah, they still have an insane amount of bundle displays. That's 5,300 booster bundles. It's insane. 151 packs. I said they've been selling a lot more lately, and they sold 131 over here after you count them all up. And the pack price I put as $10.25 because there's still about 30 packs at that price. Otherwise, it's honestly more around like $10.40, $10.50 right now. When I look at the price per pack of things, with Blooming Water Rising is now about $10.60 per pack, and yeah, I'm just waiting for it to really impact pack prices. Once Blooming Waters returns back to probably at least like $12 a pack, then the only other cheap things like really poster collections that are around $11 right now per pack, and yeah, the loose packs are probably going to rise as well. Because I don't know if there's any other recent reprints. Although I haven't fully been keeping track of the 151 reprints. For UPC sold, it's still hovering around the 385s. While a lot of the 151 slowdown for the higher price items is due to the minting fresh cards. So, surprisingly, I haven't seen any more reviews lately. I saw the ones from 7-1 about the scamming, but I haven't seen any ones since then. So I don't really know what's going on. The normally to be sold 3, that's kind of okay. Still hovering around 245. Also, due to minting fresh cards, they have 6 over here. PCTBs, there's still the 3 for minting fresh cards. The real price really is like $625 or $650. Binders sold 1 yesterday, and yeah, they're still at the low here because minting fresh cards. And then poster demand went up at 9, and they're around like 32. They're starting to recover a little bit. The next one's 33.60, which is better than before. And Blooming Warriors I already talked about. Alright, so Prismatic is next. Let's look at the notes. Bundles rising. ETB demand is still decent. Surprise box demand rising. And let's go Prismatic over here. Alright, Prismatic. So bundles are starting to, I don't know, they go in and out $70, but now they're at $70, so they're up $250. Super Premium up $2. PCTBs up about $5 $6. Pouches up about $1. So Super Premium demand has been higher lately, in about the 25 range, higher than like the 17 range. It's still, I don't know, it's good that it's like above 200 now. There's a lot of them over here for Alex Emporium, 35. Unfortunately, that's going to be a price ceiling for a little bit. Otherwise, going down, it does go to 208. So the range recently has been 200 to 210, which is a nice newer range for it recently. Bundle, this demand is decent at 50. And yeah, there's not that many, like all these, there's not like a huge price there, but going 71 is still pretty good. James Seekers appears again. They had a bunch of Christine Sky. But a lot of those sellers do have quite a bit low. It's not like 1 or 2. They have like, I see 12, I see 5, I see 7, like kind of the mid range around 5. So ETB demand is still a little higher than before. In general, it's selling about 40 to 50. Before it's selling like, I say around the 30s. But still kind of capped around the, like the 110 range. PCTB's demand is still decent. They sold 20 sold yesterday, 9 sold today, and it's doing better. It's at 230 here, 232, 235. So I don't know. It kind of went back up to about 235s, which is good. That's only like a $35 drop in the previous price before the reprints. Packs sold. I think my computer is slightly down. Packs sold about 100. I still 96, and I'm sorry, I lose my place. And yeah, but a lot of people are still selling around this 1040 price. But there's technically only about 50 packs, and it jumps to about 1080 again, 1090. Surprise boxes had this demand spike at 30, but honestly, the prices are always around 45 to 55. No one's really been buying these bundle displays. There's really not a lot of them on the market, and binders had really low demand. It's like the lowest whole month. Only sold one. Usually it's at least 3 to 5. Um, and the price is always around like 55 to 65, sometimes like 55 to 70. Pouches had lower demand at 5, and yeah, there's some really cheap ones here at 45. Then it goes back to 49. I just really want to see it break $50. And tins just have had really low demand lately. They're still staying the same price, just been no activity, but there hasn't been a sale in like about a week. Alright, that's it for today's video. Thanks guys, bye.